Hey, welcome. I hope you guys are doing good. Thank you so much for joining me. Today's reading is what is the gossip about you? Maybe you have certain people on your mind, or this could just be in general. I will try to clarify certain messages to see, who exactly it could be coming from for some of you guys. But we'll see what comes through, all right? So we have three groups for you to choose from: group 1, group 2, and group 3. Please feel free to pause the video if you do need a little time to choose your group, but I will see you in your readings. Hey, welcome. I hope you guys are doing good. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've chosen the first group, then this reading could be for you. What is the gossip on you? Okay. So to start off with, we have the Tower in reverse, the Two of Cups in reverse, and the Emperor upright. So the gossip on you is that you seem to be going through a lot right now, but you are managing, and that you're actually doing brilliantly despite what could be going on. People talk about how strong you seem, how capable, how independent, and how dependable you are. And it feels like a lot of people are in awe of you because they see you, with the Tower being here, maybe going through, maybe messy situations or heavy situations, or just have a lot of responsibilities, a lot on your plate. But they're kind of like amazed at how you're handling it all and how you still carry yourself. And people talk about you not missing a beat. People wonder how you do it, honestly, like superwoman, superman energy. People talk about how determined you are. Even when you're struggling, you always bounce back, no matter how difficult things get. And that they have a lot they can learn from you. They talk about you keeping most of your struggles to yourself and behind closed doors. They talk about you avoiding drama. They do say that you tend to pretend everything's fine, but your energy seems, quite intense. But having said that, they also feel like the cracks don't show. Do you know, like when sometimes, people are going through stuff, like the cracks start to show, but with you, they don't feel like that's the case. Like, yes, they feel your energy is quite intense at times, but they feel like the cracks definitely don't show with you. And, they talk about you rebuilding quietly after every issue, after every hurdle or setback in your life, presently and in the past, that you kind of always get back on the horse, that you always rebuild. And they talk about how you survived more chaos than anyone they know. They do say you could be afraid of change, but it doesn't stop you from accepting it. It doesn't stop you from initiating it and moving forward anyway. Like, people talk about you having 9 lives almost. Old parts of you die and you come out evolved and different, still strong, still determined. And they could describe it this way, but they could also describe it another way, but it feels like a similar sentiment. But they really feel that you've been through many deaths in this life. But for some of you, they also talk about you having had a lot of close calls, and that you may have had one recently. But yeah, they talk about how it seems like nothing shakes you, and that you are stronger than you actually let on. Like, you don't boast about your strength, you don't wear it like a badge of honor, and that you're actually extremely chill and humble about your strength when you could be super arrogant about it, but people do talk about you being quite, um, yeah, like laid back about it. They say that you've clearly been through hell and back, but no one would even know it with the way you carry yourself. Some people do talk about you being a heartbreaker, though, like you're too gorgeous and you're not easily accessible, which makes you seem like even more of a heartbreaker. Not that you do it intentionally. Maybe some of you do, who knows? But yeah, they talk about you being a heartbreaker. But they also mention that you are a lot more loyal than you may seem. So there are certain people that could be talking about how you may have had a falling out with someone you are close to. If any of you have a partner, they say that you guys might not be on the same page anymore. For some of you, even if you're not in a relationship, they could assume you're kind of experiencing relationship troubles, or they feel like you've had a falling out with someone else, like a friend or a family member. But they kind of think that you've had this messy breakup. And people also talk about how a lot of people see themselves as compatible with you, or feel like they get along with you, or like, they vibe with you and kind of not attached, but attracted to the kind of person you are. They may not feel like the, feelings are mutual. But yeah, and people also talk about how you rarely experience like harmony in your circle, or you're drifting away from your circle, or certain people that you used to be cool with. Some people also talk about how you find yourself caught up in one-sided connections, maybe situations where you're the one that's not returning affection or advances, or friendship. It doesn't feel like it's talking about the other way around. But yeah, people talk about how you've been betrayed before and that you could still carry that with you. They talk about you not being truly connected to many people, and that you're always in charge and in control of yourself, that you might be a wee bit of a control freak. But yeah, people say it doesn't seem like you bend for anyone, really, that you might be quite serious or stern for the most part, or come across that way. Like, people talk about you being intimidating even when you don't mean to, and that you can be stubborn as hell sometimes. And people also mention that you are extremely protective of someone, like someone specific. Okay, moving on, we have computer, upgrade your mental software. We have animal, embrace your wild side. Deep emotional healing. It says your heart is ready to heal from the past experiences, and you are willing to devote time and energy towards therapeutic care. We have increased support. We have slow down to relax. And we have trust your gut feeling. So people talk about how you've had to undergo deep emotional healing due to certain situations from your past, that you have managed to leave maybe most of it in the past, that you have managed to heal from it and move forward. But they also talk about how it seems you've learned from these experiences, and that you won't be caught making same mistakes twice, or being caught up in certain situations. And with slow down to relax, people actually talk about how you rarely seem to slow down, you rarely seem to relax. Like people talk about you like you have stuff to do and you can't slow down, you know? And with computer upgrade your mental software, people talk about a certain area of your life being upgraded, like they can see changes, upgrades, and evolutions happening within certain areas of your life. Could be related to like your personal life. So I don't know if this is like your, health and well-being, physical appearance, or something else that makes more sense to you, like hobbies or finances. And with increased support, there are certain people talking about how it seems like you are receiving more support than you were in the past, and maybe people can see maybe the difference it's making. And with trust your gut feeling, people say that you are someone that does trust their gut feeling. You're always going to trust your intuition and what you know and feel is right and makes sense. And with animal embrace your wild side, people also talk about you embracing your wild side. Even though you are very sensible, they also feel like there is a part of you that kind of embraces fun and adventure too. So the people who could be talking about you the most are mainly acquaintances. It doesn't feel like these are like close friends or close family or anything like that. Could even be people that you work with, like people you see often, but you may not be super close with them. Yeah. Or like people within your community or like certain groups that you're a part of, whether it's like gym groups or like activity groups. But yeah, that is all I have though for those of you who chose the first group. I really do hope it could be helpful, makes sense. I'm wishing you the best. Hopefully I'll see you again soon, but please take care of yourself, okay? Bye. Hello, welcome. If you've chosen the second group, then this reading could be for you. I hope you guys are doing okay. Thank you so much for joining me. So what's the gossip about you? All right. So we have the Queen of Pentacles upright, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, High Priestess upright. So the gossip on you is that you are well off, you are successful, you're hardworking. There is someone specific talking about how they want to take care of you. Could be someone you're actually interested in too. But people generally talk about you being the person who's always taking care of other people. You're the backbone of your family or your friend group or your work group, or another community that you're a part of. They talk about you being responsible. You're heavily focused on your money, on your stability. They could talk about you being great with finances, actually. But they say that you are comforting, you're generous, but some people may take advantage of your kindness and your generosity. People also say that you make a house feel like a home, that you could be very comforting, your energy is just very comforting, that you're just nice to be around, like maybe you're very warm. They also talk about you balancing work life with the other areas of your life beautifully. You're reliable. which could make you a little unadventurous right now. Or maybe that's just how you prefer to be, is unadventurous or low key, quite simple. And also, they feel like you're not able to be as adventurous because of how hard you work, in their opinion. They talk about the person you go to when there's a problem. That could be very specific for some of you guys, so please only take that if it makes sense. But they talk about this particular person being one of the few people you do go to when you have a problem, and that you rarely let people see your struggles. But they do talk about you being very nurturing, though, and they do mention that you are quietly building wealth, but you're not super flashy. Like maybe you're being very smart with your money and people see this. Like the person who talks about you, they talk about how much they respect you, but they also talk about how you guys seem to be stuck in a repetitive cycle. For a lot of you, this could be a love interest. Like I don't know if this is your current partner, someone you're interested in, someone you're talking to. But yeah, they do talk about you with a lot of respect. But they kind of feel like maybe you guys aren't really, moving anywhere at the moment. But yeah, they also talk about how you seem to be self-focused. This could be in general, not the specific person we were just talking about. But they also say that you've gone through, or you're going through a period of, difficult luck, and that you could be someone that does avoid change even when it is necessary. And there's also another person, could be a family member, could be a friend, that's kind of saying they blamed you for their problems. And they're kind of realizing and mentioning that they shouldn't have blamed you for the problems that they were experiencing. For some of you, it's because you didn't jump to their aid. You didn't maybe help them, offer to help them, or give them the support that they felt they needed. And they're kind of realizing that maybe that you have your own, not your own problems, maybe your own problems, but you have your own responsibilities, and that they shouldn't have put their problems on you in that way. There's also someone saying how you help them or help people through downward spirals, and that you are someone that often learns from their mistakes, and that you often learn from other people's mistakes as well. And even if you're not a parent, some of you could be, some of you may not be, even if you don't want to be a parent, but people talk about how you would make a fantastic parent. And, people also mention that it does seem like you're waiting for your luck to change, but you are bound by circumstances right now. People are talking about you being resistant to personal growth at the moment. It could be because you already have your routine, so that's kind of what you're focused on. People also say that you're not as mysterious as you seem, that you are actually quite transparent and open, but with the right people. But they do mention that you could be hiding something major right now, or there's someone hiding something from you, someone important to you, that this person could be hiding something heavy, negative about what's going on with them. Again, this could be a family member or a friend. People talk about you being very intuitive. And people also talk about other people noticing you, or other people try to notice everything about you. Like some people like try to observe you, like analyze you, and like kind of take in a lot of information about you. And that people are generally intrigued by you. But people do say that you usually hold your cards close to your chest, that you are great at giving advice, but you may not rate your advice. You may not like give your advice as much credit as other people do. Like it's not something you share openly or you brag about, but you could give fantastic advice, but people feel like you don't really see it as amazing as other people do, you know? People also talk about you being able to keep a secret, specifically of the people you are close to. And there are certain people that talk about your mystery or your perceived mystery makes people feel a bit nervous or intimidated at times. So moving forward, we have lottery, bet on yourself. We have ceremony, honor how far you've come. Divine life purpose, value your self-worth. We also have turn over a new page and ending a trauma. So with lottery, bet on yourself, people talk about how you bet on yourself, that you have a lot of faith in yourself, your abilities, and your plan to achieve certain goals that you have set for yourself. And with turn over a new page, people say that it seems like you have turned over a new page, that it seems like you're attracting, what's the way to say this? Like you're stepping into a new and more positive chapter. And with divine life purpose, people could talk about you trying to discover your life purpose or another purpose that you can potentially focus on. But you're also helping someone else find their purpose in life. So people talk about you definitely valuing your self-worth. So with ending a trauma, again, there is someone specific saying that they want to end a trauma for you, or just maybe an area of your life that has been difficult. Say, for example, love life, like they want to, make changes in that area for you. Or it could be in another area of your life, could be health-wise. But there is someone talking about how they want to support you in some way, like support you in turning over a new page. And finally, with ceremony, honor how far you've come. Like there are people who talk about you having come such a long way, that you are so different to the person that they once knew, and that they're so proud of you. Like it feels like these people talk about you with pride. But that is all I have for those of you who chose this group. I do hope it could be helpful. I'm wishing you the best. Thank you for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. But until then, please take care of yourself, okay? Bye. Hey, welcome. Hope you guys are doing good. Thank you so much for joining me. So what is the gossip about you? We have the King of Wands in reverse, Ace of Swords upright, the Empress in reverse. So the gossip on you is that you could have absolutely zero chill sometimes, that you can be super aggressive, but you're also very playful, and that you could just be a very passionate and intense person, which could sometimes come across as intimidating or aggressive. People talk about you not being the most ambitious at this point in your life. You may not be the most loyal person, or you're not looking for commitment, you don't commit easily, or you keep your options open. For some of you, people talk about you having commitment issues and just being a bit of a player. People also mention that you start things that you don't finish, projects, plans, relationships, and that you do tend to run hot and cold. And that maybe you are quite unpredictable in your energy. Like, people don't really know what they're going to get with you, maybe day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour. But people also talk about you being physically hot as well. Like, you have so much sex appeal. Someone specific is talking about you being unreliable, especially when it matters the most, to them. And this could be someone you work with, or another community you're a part of, like regularly a part of. Could also be a family member, could be a friend, but this seems like the least likely. Could also be an acquaintance. But there are people who are saying that you're not as impulsive as you seem, that you do seem very impulsive on the surface, but you're not really. Maybe you have your moments. People talk about you burning out pretty quickly, that you do hate being, overstimulated at times. People talk about you being a bit inconsistent, and only a select few people can really rely on you. There are people talking about you wanting attention, that you like attention, and that you can be a passionate person, but that can also fizzle out quite quickly at times, depending on what it is. Like, you're very passionate within yourself, but when it comes to extending that passion towards other things, whether that's hobbies or people, plans, they feel like it does fizzle out pretty quickly. People talk about you not being the most stable person. But they could also speak about you trying. For some of you, people do talk about you always moving from one thing to the other, and that you are an exciting person, but it can be a little exhausting for people, especially, certain people that may not be able to keep up with you. People talk about you being assertive and blunt, even when it hurts sometimes, that you do have a sharp mind, you do have a sharp tongue as well, that you are very clever, but you can also be quite intimidating. Like, people say that you tend to see things very clearly, which helps you kind of cut through the BS. People also mention that you win arguments easily. And people also say that you're not as nurturing as you seem. You are extremely confident, and other people may struggle with their self-worth around you, and people could discuss that. And people say that you are someone that rarely ignores their own needs, and that you may not be as feminine as you look on the surface. So moving on, we have airplane, spread your wings and fly. We have car, get into the driver's seat of your life. We have Ruby, and it says, bless your heart. We also have Ready to Love Again. We have Gift of Freedom and Return to Joy. So with aeroplanes, spread your wings and fly, people say that you like your freedom, you like to travel, or you have, plans to travel, and that you are just typically quite adventurous. So with Gift of Freedom, break away from your attachments. People talk about you not wanting too many attachments. So with Bless Your Heart, it says, reach out for emotional and spiritual support to help heal and mend your heart. There are some people gossiping about you being someone that does need a lot of support, whether that's, financially, physically, emotional support, mental support. It's like they talk about you being very independent in one way, but also not being very independent in other ways. And with Return to Joy, they do say it seems like you are moving towards a happier period. Maybe they feel like there was a moment there where you didn't seem as joyful or as positive as you usually do, or they kind of just see you kind of shifting back into that energy. And with Ready to Love Again, like, please only take this message if it resonates. But there are certain people talking about you not being, serious about new love. That you don't seem to be, sure of whether you're even ready for, some kind of new love. And with getting to the driver's seat of your life, there are people saying that you aren't in control of your life. And yeah. But they also talk about, they say it in a way where it's like it works for this person, like it works for you. So they can't really judge you for it. But yeah, that's all I have though. For those of you who chose this group, I really do hope it could be helpful. I'm wishing you the best. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. But until then, please take care. Bye.